What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man's Toxic Gamer 331, back at it with another video. And today I saw Thor: Love and Thunder finally in theaters. And today I got a little bit of a double feature for you guys. I am going to be doing a spoiler-free review and spoiler review. So I will just point out that the first half of this video will be spoiler free. Then the second half will be spoiler. And you should see this logo for spoiler free. So for spoiler time. That's what I meant to say. But guys, before we get into the actual review of Thor: Love and Thunder, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share the video, ring the bell for all notifications, and also feel free to comment your thoughts of Thor: Love and Thunder down below. And let me just start off this review by saying, I really enjoyed this film, even though not a whole lot of people enjoyed it. Well, they enjoyed it, but they thought it was kind of like in the bottom 5 MCU films. I personally disagree with that, because I thought this movie had some great moments in here, and most of the people that don't like it is because they add way too much humor, which is understandable for the moments that they add in, but I don't think they added way too much humor. But yeah, this was a really fun movie. And also, maybe there was some humor bits that I didn't understand, possibly, that was humorous, and maybe, but yeah. Anyways, let's just start off by saying that this movie well, I already said let's start off. So let's go to the characters. Chris Hemsworth as Thor still brings it with his A game and his acting character, and he still shows he can be Thor. What's her name? Natalie Portman, bringing her back as Jane Foster, Lady Thor, was really cool, and she does a whole lot in this film, and she's definitely been more likable in this film than the first 2 Thor movies. Gore the God Butcher is a phenomenal villain. The only thing is, I feel like they shouldn't have added him. They shouldn't have made him have some humorous moments. I feel like they should have just kept him like really dark and brooding and mysterious, and not add that much humor to his character. Because this Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, man, he might be in my top 3 favorite MCU villains right now. That might be a hot take, but we'll see where that goes. Korg is very funny in this film as well. Valkyrie is also in here as well. And it is just a really fun movie. There's some mixed aspects of the film where I went like, what? That's where you're going with? There is, I wish the Guardians of the Galaxy could have stayed in the film longer. They just pop up, like, right at the beginning of the film. So, yeah. The character of Zeus, who's played by Russell Crowe in this, is just, he has a terrible accent. My goodness. I don't even know what it is, but it ain't working. And yeah, this character was just all over the place. I have to think of some other stuff too. The graphics in this movie are actually quite good, and the fight scenes are also quite good. Especially on the gray, black, and white planet where Gore the God Butcher faces Thor and Jane. So that was a cool little thing there. Thank you. Up there, blanket. Sorry. My bed's a little bit all over the place, but whatever. it is definitely comic book accurate what they do with the storylines and stuff. And sometimes they just have mistimed humor, like they use it at the wrong kind of time. But that doesn't happen a whole lot for me. It happens for a whole lot of other people. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. So that is my spoiler-free review. Now let's talk about spoilers. So if you do not want to get this film spoiled for you, I suggest you click off this video right now. And yeah, let's just get started by telling what the movie starts off with. It starts off with the origin story of Gore the God Butcher, which is very comic book accurate, and you can definitely feel bad for this villain in this film, for his motives and stuff. So that where his daughter ends up dying, and he was praying that she would be okay, but she ended up not being okay. So yeah, she died, and he made a vow to kill all gods. So great comic book origin readapted on the screen. And I think Gore the God Butcher is my favorite out of all the Thor villains for each movie. Hela's very close to beating him, but no, Gore the God Butcher is pretty cool. Then after we move from his origin, we go to nowadays Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy, him kind of trying to find himself again, basically. But with fighting alongside the Guardians, which I thought the elements with him and the Guardians of the Galaxy were pretty funny. Then, you go back down to Earth, and Valkyrie is still queen of the Asgardians, well, king, but whatever. And, yeah, that's, you later find out another comic book accurate storyline. Jane Foster has cancer, and she thinks the only way that it can save her is using Mjolnir. So she goes to find the broken pieces of Mjolnir and reforms it back into place. So it was pretty cool how she like threw the hammer and it could split into millions of pieces and then come back together. I thought that was a really cool graphic effect. What else? I thought it was also pretty good to how they made Jane and Thor go back together, and I thought it was adding a little bit of suspense with bringing Thor Mjolnir is actually making Jane's cancer worse. I thought that was really suspenseful, so they did a good job on that. And yeah, then let's move on to the ending of the film where Thor shares his powers with all the kids. I will say this right now. Axel is a very interesting character. I hope they do more with him. If you guys do not know who that is Heimdall's young son. So I think he could have potential of being a superhero, maybe. And they could invent the character. And Jane joins in, even though she knows her life is at risk, to stop Gore the God Butcher and stop him from reaching the life of eternity. But in doing so, she basically loses her power of Thor and is dying. And in her last breath, Thor and her share one last moment. And yeah, Jane dies, what shocked me, really, it did shock me. I expected her to be the next Thor in the next few movies, and like the regular Thor would give up the hammer to her, but that was not the case. And for Gore the God Butcher's last his wish, he wished for his daughter to come back to life, which kind of made no sense. And he said for Thor to watch over her. So, yeah. That's very confusing, and the end credits are quite confusing as well. You have Hercules' debut in Thor: Love and Thunder, which I thought that was interesting, but the actor choice, I believe it is the guy that is, Dr. Eggman's servant in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Kind of weird choice for being Hercules, but whatever. And Zeus is still alive somehow, even though he got struck with a lightning bolt. And then the second end credit is this one's very confusing. So it shows Jane awakening in Valhalla and meeting Heimdall, and Heimdall says, "Welcome to Valhalla," and she realizes that she's dead. But it's really weird because she then squints and goes like, I think she wants out, and she might be brought back to life and restored, maybe. I don't know what's going on with that, but that was a very confusing end credit scene. Not as actually, that ending scene for Morbius was not that confusing for me, where he forms the Sinister, where Vulture asks Morbius to team with them. I think they're gonna form the Sinister Six in that universe, maybe, but alright, so guys, that was my spoiler and spoiler-free review. Guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. Also be if you see any comments that advertises any stuff down below, probably don't click on the link. I didn't click on the link, but yesterday there was a comment on one of my videos that's advertising a link for 18 plus and only. If you see stuff like that, don't click on it, because it could be something for kids watching. You might want to hold your ears. It could be something very adult. I'm not gonna say the actual word because YouTube might demonetize me, but I'm just saying, watch what you click on YouTube. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my review, and I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace.